homeostasis and restore health back. And it is up to you to stimulate immunity, which is already weak. The moment you stimulate which is weak, it became weaker. And later on, it needs hundreds of other vitamins, hundreds of other tablets. Or you balance the system, you balance homeostasis, and body care about you. It doesn't matter what infection. You know perfectly, even in COVID, 2-3 members of family get sick and 5 not sick, or opposite, 1 sick and 5 not sick. And inside the family, and they wash their hands together, and they eat together, and they sleep together, and it doesn't matter even COVID, they isolate them, but after that it's still together inside the room. What that is try to understand, immunity, it is something which is supposed to be supported, and not only immunity, it's health supposed to be restored. And this is approach of homeopathy.
Thank you, Dr. Ludmilla. I think that was an excellent talk, and the best was homeopathy cares about health. That's so true. And we don't care about not just immunity, but about restoring health in the patient. And that is how we as homeopaths look at building immunity. It is this every 100 years there is an epidemic, a pandemic. And unfortunately, we didn't learn much from the last pandemic which happened in 1918 during World War I. And there also we saw how the disease spread. And this time we did the same mistake and the disease spread. How are we going to go about it in future? And like Dr. Ludmilla said, we have to work towards building good health rather than just fighting and looking at in future fighting any coming illnesses. We don't know what is going to come, and by the time it comes, I'm sure that the virus will be mutated, there will be enough variants, so we cannot plan for those. So ultimately we need to focus on our health, how we need to improve our health so that our body is resistant to the various mutations which happen and come before us. Like Dr. Ludmilla said, there's a family of 4, 1 falls sick, 2 people don't fall sick. Why? It's very obvious that obviously their immunity, their health is good enough to resist. It's Darwin's law of nature, survival of the fittest. And that is where we have to focus on, and that is a lesson we have learned from junior school, and we still need to use it in perspective, because that is what is going to be important for us, is good health. Now coming to homeopathy, as homeopathy is a very holistic system, we deal in treating the patient and not just running after diseases. We deal in helping the body fight whatever pathogen is coming to attack it, whether it's a virus or a bacteria or an allergen. It may be anything. Ultimately, we cannot will them away or wish them away from the atmosphere. They are there and they are going to be there because it's a part of nature. How are we going to resist it? That is how we will, is important to us, because our body being strong is what is going to resist the future attacks by the pathogens. And that is where homeopathy, I think, comes in, because it deals by treating the patient, not the disease. It helps the patient confront and fight whatever agent is in front of us. So in that way, it makes our body healthier, it makes it stronger by not destroying our natural fighting capacity when we put it healthier. So yes, that is how it has to work in future also. There were several studies done, and I would just like to bring to your notice, I've got some papers just about certain studies done to show how efficacious this thing has been in helping build the immunity. In 2010, a homoprophylaxis study was conducted by the Cuban government and on post-hurricane leptospirosis epidemic control. The study, it was a big study by the government of Cuba, The study involved large-scale application of highly diluted bacteria, which was the Spira, and for the epidemic. The remedy was administered to 2.3 million people, and about 5,000 personnel of public health department in Cuba were involved in carrying out this study. The conclusion of the government study was a great study demonstrating how homeoprophylaxis intervention might help control epidemics by using high diluted pathogens to induce protection in short-term scale. So in homeopathy also we use our homeopathic, where we can call it community building processes, whether it is using our constitutional remedy or using what we call a genus epidemicus, or we use what they call isopathy, or the active ingredient focus which is causing it. But this shows that these methods can be used for treating and building future immunity, and they have to be experimented, and we have to find out more about how they work. In India also there was a study published by researchers in Calcutta School of Tropical Medicine and Central Council of Research in Homeopathy, which showed that homeopathic medicine belladonna prevented infection in chick embryos injected with Japanese encephalitis virus. The conclusion of the study was the study showed significant decrease in the viral load when treated with the homeopathic medicine belladonna in different potencies in comparison to placebo. So these sort of studies and these sort of researches are very important for us to progress further. But ultimately, it is our health which is important, and our health which is going to help us to fight future infections and future mutations which may be happening, or variants which may be coming. Thank you.
Very valid points from both the panelists, especially regarding the immunity. Why a few individuals in the same family with the same exposure don't fall sick or show symptoms, because definitely the immunity. And then looking at the pandemic that we had, it's evident that few of them had immunity, they did not get the symptoms, and those who probably took homeopathic preventive medicine definitely have produced some effect, though it is yet to be established, in the study. But we all know, nobody has a doubt about it. Now, Dr. Vanitha also mentioned a few studies that have been done in terms of immunity and immunoregulation. Certain medicines like Tuja has been established to produce anti-inflammatory effects and stimulating the receptors. Similarly, we have some injury medicine which is not communicable, but Bellis, belladonna, aconite, chamomilla, belladonna. These have shown anti-inflammatory. So that also falls into when your immunity is strong, what needs to be done, whether it's a physical injury or injury by virus, bacteria. Ultimately, the immune system has to step up, boost, and perform its duty. So the activation of the cells, activation of the cell membranes, and the receptors, activation of the anti-inflammatory process. Also, production of antibodies in that matter. So somewhere these medicines have helped in doing that. Ultimately, the immune system, which is robust, and the resistance, what we call, or we term as, definitely been built up by these homeopathic medicines. So in general, you give a constitutional medicine to definitely improve your immunity. That's the ultimate goal. Acute medicines, of course, once you have the symptoms, based on the symptom totality, we give acute remedies. But a constitutional remedy or an anti-miasmatic remedy play a long way or a major role in prevention of these communicable diseases by definitely boosting your immune system or prepare for an attack and counter the attack. So I would like to if you can, maybe a specific instances of a few cases in brief, if you want to throw light on one or two cases here, and how you were able to, and what are the points considered while doing a prescription, or how in general you want to put it as, immune booster or whatever term we may call it. You can give points on that.
As far as I understand your correct question, because I think the sound is going over there and we don't hear so much properly, even next to each other. How immunity is supposed to be supported by homeopathic medicine. It doesn't matter what type of case, you know perfectly. And in homeopathy, it is what type of person behind this case. What type of person behind this case. And with any case, it can be, even if it is in front of you coronavirus or sickness, or post-coronavirus sickness, or ischemic disease, or it doesn't matter what is the sickness, the point is what is the person who creates this or this type of symptoms. Homeopathy is absolutely special medicine. No one adds any other medical science in the world. Homeopathy functions by similia similibus curentur, like cures like. In case if you knew for that, you cannot understand how the like can cures like. But listen, in Arabic house, if you're coming from heavy hot from outside, what they offer to you? Hot tea. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Why? In American house, if you come from hot, they offer you ice, water with ice. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
But let's have a look. Why Arabic traditionally offers the coffee hot for hot, and American modern, scientific, absolutely international country, for any restaurant even, order from hot, cold. Anybody can answer me?
I don't know.
Bravo. Can I answer you?
Yes.
Okay. The point is hot, balance, small, balance, big. And system became balanced. In case if you have hot, big, and cold, you shock the system. This is why all American people who use Pepsi with ice, they're so white. Okay? And Arabic people who use coffee from coffee, they're just absolutely fine, and because it is small portion, absolutely small dose. Now, in case if you on cold country, I'm from Russia, Ukraine, you know, I know perfectly. If you come and overfreeze outdoor, be careful, never ever use hot. Use what? Ice, snow, and rub the hand. When the hand is already overfreeze. I have in Dubai patient from UK, which service live in Kenya, born in Kenya, come to some Siberia cold country for service. And they immediately use for him hot. He 25 years suffering microcirculation Raynaud disease. All the hand was bluish, constantly numbness. And when I asked him, what the point, why you get sick like this? He said, listen, because the time when I was in cold, they used, and I overfreeze my hand, they used hot on me. And it's supposed to be snow. But it is a law of compatibility, one more time. It is homeopathic law of compatibility, law of allopathic medicine, law of opposite, opposite. But it is scientific approach, it is opposite approach. But life function by compatibility, not day and night. Day coming to evening, going to night, it coming to morning. It is key and lock. It is effect of resonance. Key and lock. If you find another key, can you open the one door? Not at all. You need effect of resonance. It is music, which is, it is conductor, it became orchestra. It's beautiful sound, right? Without conductor, it is noise. It's effect of resonance. But it is nothing, no point what type of sickness, what type of disease, what type of infection is point. Who is the person react on this type of sickness, this type of disease, this type of point? This is homeopathy, this is law of compatibility, this is resonance, this is homeopathic approach. Homeopathy, restoring health. Homeopathy never fights with any sickness, even with bacterial virus. Homeopathy, restoring health. Modern medicine stimulate immunity and fight with viruses and kill you. Softly, but definitely.
Well said. Yes, that is true. Homeopathy helps the patient, like we've been saying all along. It treats the man behind the disease and not the disease. And like Dr. Fon says that about some medicine and about the treatment in building immunity. Well, in classical homeopathy, when we do feel that there's a hurdle and then we cannot go beyond it, we have what we call miasms, which we believe is the root cause of all illnesses, and then we look for an anti-miasmatic active focus, which is inhibiting the full cure. So that is what initially after treating the acute symptoms, and I feel it keeps coming back or it keeps recurring, I look for the miasm and then treat it according to the homeopathic principle of anti-miasmatic for that particular case.
It's been a wonderful discussion. Any more points you want to put in, or maybe take a few questions from the audience? Ultimately, it's the immunity, a man in health and man in disease. The immunity that needs to be addressed. So, when there is an immunity to be improved for a cure, definitely the environment and the human himself play a major role. So anybody wants to contribute, maybe put in a few tips or ask a few questions from the panelists.
Any questions from the audience?
I was having migraines as a child. I had migraine as a child from the age of 9, and at some point of time, obviously my family was all into homeopathy, so they took me to a homeopatist and they started treating me for the migraine. And what happened was that it became more severe and more frequent, and my homeopatist said, "It's good." And I thought he's going to kill me because he started explaining it to me. Then homeopathy brings it out. So more and more will happen to you, just bear it. But at one point of time, it was unbearable. So obviously I dropped out of it. Then a friend of mine had eczema. She went for homeopatist also, and she had the same experience, that it became much more than she ever had. Sorry. To the extent of bleeding. She also dropped out. So may I know, does it really happen this way? Or was our understanding wrong? Or was it conveyed to us in a wrong light? That homeopathy brings out more, makes it more severe, and then it disappears. I would like you to throw light on that. Thank you.
No. Okay? In certain cases, yes, there may be a mild aggravation of the symptoms, but the aggravation is not to a point where you face that your migraines kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. No, that is not the way homeopathy works. It is a myth that homeopathy brings it out and fixes it here. The difference between modern medicine and homeopathy is, yes, certain times with a certain medicine, there may be a slight aggravation. But that should settle in the shortest, easiest way. It should not persist. If it is persisting, probably the medicine is not working, or for whatever reason, it's coming out in severe potency or whatever. I would know. But definitely when you go to a homeopath, don't go with the intention, with the thought that when I go, my condition will get worse and then it will improve. If your child is running 103 fever, you definitely will never go to a homeopath if you think the homeopath is going to make the fever 104 and then bring it down. No. The only difference is, yes, if you give a paracetamol, the fever will come down suddenly. But the moment the effect of the paracetamol is over, in 6 hours, 4 hours, it will come up again, which is not a spike in the fever. It is not that my fever is recurring. The fever is not recurring. It is the effect of the medicine which is going away. So you see these spikes happening. The fever is probably maintaining at that point. But with homeopathy, when you treat, it may not come down suddenly. But when it comes down, it will not go up again. Unless it's a recurring fever, which is a different thing. But otherwise, when it comes down, it gradually comes down and it remains down. So there are no tufts crest in the traffic crest in the fever. So we do see aggravation of symptoms, especially in skin cases. Because most of the skin conditions, when they come, they have been highly suppressed by a lot of external applications. So virtually we are sitting on a volcano. You can imagine a volcano which is waiting to erupt, and there's a little spark come from one side, you put a cement and block it off, then it comes out from other side, you spill, put some cement and block it off. Ultimately, that lava has to flow. Now it is up to the homeopath how to allow it to flow in a way which can be controlled and which can be modulated. It's not that you allow all the points to open up and the poor child is suffering. No, that is not homeopathy. Homeopathy, the main principle of homeopathy, according to our aphorism, is gentle. And any severe aggravation is definitely not a gentle form of treatment.
Thank you so much.
Right, I can say something little more. Okay, it's medical doctor and homeopath doctor together. You said that you have migraine so many years. Okay, it means you use a lot of medicine before to suppress your migraine. But actually migraine, it is signals. Migraine, it is signals, it's sickness already. About something which is wrong. Because any pain, it is signals from inside, you do something not correct with your life. Okay? Pain, it is signals about something wrong. When your car signals something wrong, you suppress or you fix it, the problem. You fix the problem. But in modern medicine, you suppress. At the time when the homeopathy starts to balance the system, definitely it can happen aggravation, number one. Number two, homeopathy, it is science and art together. It is science and art together. Sorry to say 3 times. It is science and art together. Why? Because same like hundreds of, if you give painters for hundreds of people, it's absolutely different picture. Even you call the woman and say, cook for me soup, this type of soup, this recipe, and soup will be different. Homeopathy is science and art together. What it is, some doctor experienced it, no, he can create aggravation, and he said to the patient, be careful, it can happen aggravation, but you need to do this, 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 this. In case the doctor cannot suppress and only happy for aggravation, it is young doctor who doesn't have experience, sorry to say. So yes, you see, that's it. Correct? Bravo, correct. That's it. Okay? Thank you so much. But don't forget, it's not the point of homeopathy, it's point who is homeopath.
Yeah, it's practitioner based, not treatment based.
It doesn't matter. You know, he can be successful 100 times and foil another time. Homeopathy, it's art and science. Don't forget, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ludmilla. You nailed it by saying homeopathy is a
Yeah, we have one
science
more.
and art together. So definitely that has a large meaning to it. So the message is clear. Thank you, Dr. Vanita.
We have one more question from the audience.
Thank you. I want to know where medicinal mushrooms and probiotics have their place in immunity. Medicinal mushrooms and probiotics or prebiotics and their participation with immunity?
Listen, you know, we live in era antibiotic, now we live in era probiotic now. Okay? Okay, be careful. Era antibiotic finished, now it's start era antibiotic. Why? Because era of antibiotic everybody became resistant. Why we became resistant for antibiotic? Why? Because so many use, okay? Because we use vaccination from day number 1. Okay? And what is it vaccination? It's small sickness. It is sickness, but small. And if it is in one syringe, welcome to the child who only came to the minute to this world, we meet them with 7, 8 sickness in one syringe. Sorry to say to you. I don't like to name it, what does it mean, okay? But this point is, we live in era of antibiotic when we kill all natural bacteria. Now we live in probiotic, which is restored natural bacteria in environment where it cannot survive even bad bacteria. But it is one more time, be careful with probiotic, be careful with antibiotic. It is special case for this and special case for that. It's not supposed to be sold like food now, probiotic selling. Food is supposed to be your medicine, not the medicine is supposed to be your food. This is Hippocrates. Okay? And the point is, if you use probiotic of someone bacteria, when you cannot create your own natural bacteria, it cannot survive good bacteria because you have only bad bacteria. It's bad neighbors, bad company.
Thank you, doctor. I think the point is clear.
Any more questions? Okay, moving on. Thank you, Dr. Anand. Thank you, Dr. Vinita. Thank you, Dr. Ludmilla, for sharing your thoughts and experience with us.
Thank you.
Moving on, we have next presentation on reducing the risk of cardiovascular disease through homeopathy by Dr. Ludmilla. Please put your hands together for Dr. Ludmilla.
We got somebody. Don't do in front of me. No, I'm not. How are you doing? Where is homeopathy in this auditorium? Can you see? Homeopathy. Who is Ayurvedic doctor? Who is not a doctor at all? I. Pizza. Don't in front of you.
Hide it. Hide it. It's okay. It's not too high. Sorry. It's max.
You need to make it high.
It's max.
You need to do that. But it will move.
Like this? No, it's okay. Yeah, just
It will move.
No.
Very good afternoon. Thank you for filling this auditorium small, but I hope it is absolutely special one, because everyone has interest in their eyes and everyone has something inside the heart as far as they come in for such a talk. How you prevent cardiovascular disease. I like to disappoint you totally.
Why?
I don't like prevent any cardiovascular disease. I like people to be healthy. And I share to you some people who never ever prevent any cardiovascular disease and live long life and active life, not long life, active life. The Queen Elizabeth just passed away only recently, 96 years old, and before, 2-3 days before she passed away, she shook the hands of new Prime Minister. The Mother Queen, 101, she was active up to absolutely last day, and Prince Charles still active and active as a clinic. Absolutely same with them. It is my founder of homeopathy in Ukraine, Demyan Popov, who blessed me in age of 92. And I just was so blessed up to the period of time when I started to legalize homeopathy in Ukraine and became first one. It was exist but not legal. His daughter Tatiana Popova, 92, was absolutely active up to the time when war in Ukraine started. I think she cannot tolerate all of this, and she passed during the first day of war. They are my teacher, and doctor who was private doctor of Queen's family, it was my friend. This is Dr. Mansour, the smart university counselor, which came with hundreds of pills which prevent his coronavascular disease, with high cholesterol and many associated complications, and in 3 months lost 16 kilos and stopped all the medicine. I hope he talked by himself. Video. Can I ask you a video, please? Now, sorry, a few minutes, huh? Now, the point is, in my clinic, I talk about little about that my PhD research was on the optimal disease. Optimal disease means when disease is going to resolve by itself. And you know perfectly it is immunity. You have high immunity, you have high health, you even contact something not well, and tomorrow after tomorrow you are well absolutely with any infection. Or even trauma, broken hands, broken arms, whatever, they heal it by themselves. Doctor only support, connect the trauma and the body heal itself. For this we have absolutely higher capacity and possibility to heal itself. And the only point, or you support the body in optimal condition, body can heal it. When the body does not have health enough and cannot go in optimal condition, this is when the sickness starts to grow and develop. This is when need interference of doctor. So that is sickness coming to us, especially chronic sickness like cardiovascular disease. Not straight away tomorrow for today for tomorrow. It is results of lifestyle of people. And with coronavascular disease, everybody talking that it is lifestyle which is in charge. And to treat it lifestyle by homeopathic medicine, definitely possible only when health will be restored. For this reason, I will show to you one moment, because it's coming a little technical point. I will show to you the results of special test. It's called a nonlinear system of diagnostic. And this is test that shows the level of compensation, how the body compensates any part of condition. Because any sickness, it is dysfunction, disbalance, and sickness starts to develop first by signals, body signals for us. I like to drink, I like to eat, I like to sleep. Point, I like it. And we are definitely, with our busy time and speedy time, we said, I don't like it. Let me do something. Later on, little by little, body send to you not a signal, body send you symptoms. Symptom is, I'm hungry, I like to eat, you don't like, fine. I give you dizziness, I give you weakness, I give you blurry vision, I give you not focused, concentrated. Okay, little more, give me coffee, after that I definitely will look. Little by little body said, okay, you don't like signals, you don't like symptoms support, I give you sickness. And this is morphology level. On the beginning it is energy level. Energy, easy, can fix it. Can you use mobile? Who has mobile in hand? No. Can you use mobile if you don't charge? But it is calcium, natrium there, and all details is there, everybody, everything is there, right? But why does it work? Because it's need to charge. But it is life, functioned by energy. Body growing after 9 months. Life came as energy after body growing after 9 months. And on the beginning, any sickness, any disbalance, it is dis-ease. What is it? It's disease. At the time when disease happened, what does it happen? It's already morphology level. When calcium, natrium, cholesterol going up or down, blood pressure going up or down. This is, you feel health inside or outside? Inside? You feel happiness inside or outside? Now, where do people looking for health? In hospital, in pharmacy, but feeling inside, right? And body sends signals non-stop. If you cannot like to hear signals, they send to you symptoms. If you don't like to hear symptoms, the body sends you sickness, because body cannot adjust balance. Body cannot resonate in ease. Body cannot function at ease. Body function is dis-ease. And this is the time when the modern medicine talking about prevention. Prevention when the sickness already on morphology level. Morphology level, it is definitely disorder which require or suppress or support. Now, if you cannot, yes or no? Press. Okay, 1 minute. Can you start again? Now, this is common between all these people, it's only homeopathy. Only because all of their life they're using homeopathy to support health. Health requires service. Health is not a status quo. We every day need to sleep, to eat, to drink, to go to bathroom, to take a shower, and next morning start again, right? And if we don't, if we eat good, we sleep, we eat good, we walk good, everything good, but we don't sleep 3 days. How did you feel? How did you feel? Disaster, right? But it's sleep. What is point? The point is in sleeping, the body restores homeostasis and regenerate new cells. But this is not your relaxation, it is regeneration. But its point is, if you suppress sickness, if you prevent sickness, you definitely get sickness. Why? Because your intention, prevention. Your intention, sickness. If I said I need microphone, I don't take pen, right? I take microphone. What does it mean if you take about, I like prevent cardiovascular disease, definitely people get cardiovascular disease. If you like to prevent coronavirus, how many people get sick when they get worried about, can I work? Can I help? Can I don't help? Yes, I help. No, definitely you don't, you have. This is why the doctor said coronavirus, it is asymptomatic. Listen, asymptomatic is when your immunity is strong, and if you have only 1-2 viruses in your body knows how to care about that, okay? It's not a sickness. It is higher immunity, even with virus on nasal mucus. Correct? Yes? Yes. Start.
One more.
Yeah, it's okay now.
Case which is absolutely similar with all the clinic.
2014, we started to have pills for blood pressure. By 2015, I started to take pills for cholesterol. I was starting already to take something called a medication called Nixium because of the digestion of food. And then I was prescribed as a person with asthma, and I was using the damn inhaler. Today I would say damn inhaler. I would consider this definitely a voice of a human being to humanity, to humankind. If you would like to restore health, if you would like to invest in health, it's much more better than you said at all times than spending on disease. So I think the choice that I have made is the choice that I wanted to be happy. I wanted my children to be happy, my family to be happy. You told us, I think, that if my children and going to be happy if I am. So they cannot look, the children cannot look into a sick and a diseased, chronic diseased father. They will become so sad.
Okay.
So that was the motivation. So I'm talking today, this interview, to all human beings, that they are looking after the prosperity of their own family, the prosperity of life, not in terms of the wealth, but in terms of the health. I think most people will understand if I just try to put two pictures together. Who I was and who I am. I just came that day to understand that when we have a Ministry of Health, actually they are the Ministry of Disease because they are combating actually the sickness. They are not promoting health. So I think I came to know from March 10th, 2017, those concepts. And look at the picture with all those pills. When your kind self told me, after a while, you will get rid of all these. To be honest, at the back of my mind, with that subconsciousness, I said,
Okay.
she might be bluffing. After 4 weeks of my treatment,
4 weeks.
4 weeks only, I quitted the blood pressure pills. After 8 weeks,
Because it became normal.
absolutely, because we were checking the blood pressure, checking the blood test, and after 8 weeks, I quitted the cholesterol pills. In the day number 1, on 10th of March, I quitted already the inhaler and the Nexium for the digestion.
How many years?
One of the things that I was missing, enjoying in life, at that time I was 57 years old. 57 years, I haven't enjoyed drinking orange juice. So you need to change your lifestyle.
Well, it's health is foundation. And for health and for happiness and success and idea and creation, health is the foundation. Is it right?
Absolutely.
And holistic only solution for evolution.
Holistic is the solution. And
For evolution of humanity.
absolutely.
Because with the age you became younger, and with the age you became open for any possibilities, not restricted yourself
Holistic-
in the bottle or in the
holistic
pill.
program, holistic clinic here is about telling you that your age is only a number. Holistic lifestyle overall. Give me a determination, not just only I look much more younger. I shaved 10 years of my age when you look at me.
More.
2, it gave me much more focus at my workplace. The rate of my craziness, I would call
Intensity.
it happened 5 times much more. It gave me also a cause to enjoy life with my grandkids at the same level of energy, at the same level of happiness, in the same way that I thought. It is different. Opened up our life. That's what I say to all our people who are listening to you today. Go and enjoy your life with us. You are not restraining, you are not going to a diet, you are changing the lifestyle by your own will.
I like to share to you results which is happening in 3 months. Okay, definitely it will be once a week, once in 2 weeks, monitoring all the condition. We keep with our patient under control all the time. But look at this. It is before 12 and 2 months, okay, 3 months. Straightening compensatory reaction on 36% on the level of heart. If you see the heart point is yellow one, it is reflect compensatory, already compensated condition, and black it is decompensated, but on the right side you can see 36% straightening compensatory reaction. I just fast go through this to save the time. 33, 40, 54, 33 on the left, 60 on the thyroid, 62 51 on the vertebrospinal nerves, 20 on the pancreas, throat 64%. Do you remember what he said? I suffer in and use dump inhaler. And this is what happened in 3 months. Right, 64% of compensation improving. 31% in kidney. And this is we present to you the data of 318 patients, which was last just 2-3 years. We extract specially for this conference to show to you the difference before and after. And the idea is the most what people feel it straight away with improvement on the level of homeostasis. It is reduction of centimeter. If you can see -5, -6, -9, -515, -13 centimeter in 3 months, the people reduce the size. What does it mean? Straight away everybody said, listen, I look younger, I look better, I look easier, my life became enjoyable, not that heavy. And my cholesterol, definitely blood pressure became less and less and less because it is by test. Another one, this is blood pressure results, which is decrease on 14, 37, 26 less, and reduction of centimeter, mostly 27, 14 centimeter, 27. Can you imagine in 3 months people change as much and feel totally different? But it is modern medicine, it is allopathic approach, which I talked already, and homeopathic medicine, it is similar similibus currento. Point is, symptoms, pathology, it is something which appeared because of something else. So that is modern medicine treated the symptoms and suppress the symptoms, but reason absolutely different sometimes, in absolutely different level. And it is not results, it is reason. Symptoms, it is not, it's results, it's not a reason. But if you suppress the reason, how you can prevent sickness? Definitely sickness develop little by little. For that is modern medicine based on science, on duality, and homeopathy on integration. Law of love, law of life, it is law of integration. Law of music, language, it is law of integration. For that is homeopathy restore health. Homeopathy exists to 67 years, modern medicine only 77. For that is tested on human homeopathic medicine and tested by time. Allopathic medicine tested on animals. Animals cannot complain. I have headache, I have dizziness, I have not well until I die. Only after that they start to use. And modern medicine can see the problem on morphology level. By X-ray, by MRI, ultrasound, and so on, so where it is sickness already developed and concentrated on tissue, on organs level. Homeopathy can see the energy, flow, frequency. It can be detected by BioWell, supported MLS, and restore frequency and harmony. Now, modern medicine, absolutely necessary in emergency, in any preventive death, not disease, death. Modern medicine can prevent death, but people not became active and enjoy their lives. They became sick with tablets in hospital, with suffering and suffering all the family. For that is homeopathic medicine can prevent disease and can restore about health back. Modern medicine cannot restore health. Both medicine needs, we're in 21st century, but point is you need to choose, you need to understand when it's supposed to be one, when it's supposed to be second one. And the sickness, disease developing, chronic sickness gradually developing. Wrong mindset, interaction, it's actually our mind creates our thought. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
I'd like to hear all of you.
Yes.
Yes. Now, the thoughts affect emotion. Yes or no?
Yes.
Because the moment we are happy, how the body develops absolutely different hormones because body expanded. It is serotonin. And what about if it is angry? It is the opposite. It is squeeze. Well, it is emotions only. This is level of information. This is homeopathic medicine. Can balance. Now, level of homeostasis and metabolic disbalance. It is when our emotion reflects our energy. Yes or no? When we are with positive emotions, how we feel? Happy. When we are negative emotions, what we feel? Sad, upset. And this is the level of energy which is softly transformed on biochemical level. It is still homeopathic medicine can support. Now, symptoms and disease, already morphology level, and energy builds the body. Have a look. On the beginning, our mind, at the end, our body. This is how the system transforms from mind to body. This is why lifestyle in charge, not the cardiovascular disease in charge. Lifestyle needs to balance. And if you lead chaotic life, you have chaotic results. Chaotic. If you live holistic, you have holistic results. But that is, if results correct, it means you're doing correct, right? But if you're doing correct and results wrong, it means we need to change what we are doing, right? But that is, homeopathic approach is law of nature, essence, energy, and spirit, and definitely on level of energy and homeostasis in cells, and achieve results in short periods of time. Hahnemann developed homeopathy, I hope you know, and this is a similibus curentur, like yours, like the different, not substance, different in this potential and potency. This is what made homeopathy became powerful. This is exactly what you need. And medical science, which respect wisdom of the body and support the body, incorporate scientific approach based on law of compatibility and invented in 1755. Now, you know all of this. Homeopathy is tested on human, not on animal. Human explain all the symptoms or condition. And one of the specific medicine which is used with us, it is nitroglycerin. Who knows about nitroglycerin? You know, it is the best selling medicine in cardiovascular sickness, and it is in 23, it is reached 106 million. And it is homeopathic medicine developed by Hahnemann, developed by him, who actually sent to stop homeopathy. He started to understand, study homeopathy, start to develop. After that, and this medicine developed from explosion. It is dynamite. Okay? The only point, even till now, this medicine used sublingual, same as homeopathic medicine. And the dose of this medicine 0.0000075, which absolutely homeopathic potency. And this is the best medicine till now, developed in 1847. The best-selling medicine in modern allopathic medicine. And they forget about this is homeopathy. This is how homeopathy works. Work up to now and work powerfully. And the only point, if you are correct, is the symptoms. But it is the statin, which is developed, only little 16% less stroke, 21% less stroke, and definitely cognitive dysfunction, liver symptom disease, incidence of onset diabetes, symptoms of disease. If you do correct things supposed to happen. If you do correct things and wrongs happen, it needs to change. But it is the more hospital, the more sick people right now, 21st century, is supposed to be understand the body function by energy. Life exists if the health exists. If the health starts to disappear, life starts to disappear. But it is sickness of coronary disease, 43% now. And our point is statin production increase, sickness increase, death increase, and we can still continue to prevent coronary vascular disease. Please, allopathic medicine absolutely necessary in 21st century because life is not natural anymore. Life is so speedy. It's not a stress. Actually, it is speed, which creates tension. And if you know how to drive your sport car, not a problem. But if you don't know, and this is biological vehicle for our life. If you know how to drive it, it doesn't matter what the speed. But if you don't know, definitely it is stress. And this is lifestyle which is need to drink coffee on the morning to wake up and wine on the evening to sleep. But it is, idea is you are the driver of your own life, and homeopathy exists already in so many countries by law and regulation, and Ukraine, UAE, one of the best, and results of this appreciation by government of UAE of Sheikh Zayed Award, which I was so happy for that. I'm happy to answer your question.
so much, Dr. Ludmilla. Any questions? Yes, we have a question here.
You know I'm going to ruffle your feathers. Doctora, you said that homeopathy is about 267 years old? You said that homeopathy was about 267.
Homeopathy was, homeopathy was, homeopathy was invented in 1851.
1851?
1851.
Wrong.
I'm wrong.
Homeopathy, the oldest example of homeopathy that I have found is from the book of Exodus in the Bible, the Old Testament. When the Jewish people were rebellious against God and against Moses, he sent snakes to bite the Jews. And the remedy was they were to look at the pole with the two snakes wrapped around, and that would neutralize the poison of the snakes. So, and actually that is also the symbol of what?
Bravo.
Western medicine.
Absolutely bravo.
Thank you.
Absolutely bravo, and I was impressed in this hall. I was 3 weeks ago on the food conference, and it was actually a conference about hospital, okay? And in this conference it was corner about local people, how they support themselves in 50 years ago, okay? And it was herbal shops which some plants, herbs, which is selling to support the health, and the owner of the shop showed to me homeopath. Absolutely, I looked at pride at the moment, how they treated their children. They, on the big plate, they write Quran by saffron medicine. Sorry, saffron tincture, okay? Write Quran, words for healing. After that, he put little water, hold the water in his hand, put little water on the plate, throw this plate in the glass, and let the child drink, and child gets improved. This is homeopathy. The point is, natural wisdom, full of example. The only point Hahnemann developed system, okay?
Yes.
1755.
I still think it's
So this is homeopathy, but the example definitely